kind of rolled my ankle in that second set. There was like I hit the forehand and I landed kind of wrong. I called the physio, and I think I was like, oh, I don't know what happened, because it happened so fast.
But when I'm going to the line, ready to serve, they don't need to cheer. No one's talking to you. She's talking to me, okay? I haven't started. Your team is chanting, I'm too old for this mind games, okay?
Belinda Bencic is walking into her worst nightmare at the Canadian Open. The Swiss star has just been drawn against Eala in the round of 16, and what should have felt like a routine draw has turned into the exact matchup Bencic did not want. For a moment, there was a window of hope for Bencic. Reports out of Toronto suggested Eala had picked up a foot injury in her previous match, and if that injury lingered, Bencic could have walked into the quarterfinals with a hampered opponent standing across the net, or possibly no opponent at all. That hope is gone. Eala has confirmed she is fine, calling it a minor issue that she is already working through with her medical team, and she fully intends to be ready when she steps on court against Bencic. Bencic was banking on a walkover of sorts, an easier path through a weakened rival. Instead, she is about to face a red-hot Eala at full strength, and now the panic is setting in. To understand why this news lands so hard for Bencic, you have to look at the form Eala is carrying into this tournament. This is a player on a 7-match winning streak, one that stretches back to her title run at the Mubadala DC Open in Washington, where she beat Jessica Pegula in a rain-delayed final for her first WTA Tour title. Before that, she had already turned heads on the biggest stages, including her run through Wimbledon, where she pulled off a stunning win over Iga Swiatek. This is not a player riding a hot week. This is a player who has been building momentum for months, and every match seems to add another layer of belief to her game. That momentum was tested in the most dramatic way possible in her previous match against Katie McNally. Eala came out strong, but midway through the second set she took a tumble and appeared to twist her foot while striking a forehand. The reaction around the match was immediate. Fans and commentators feared the worst, wondering if this was the moment her incredible run would come to an end. Eala had her foot wrapped, took a medical timeout, and for a stretch of the match, McNally sensed the opening and pushed back hard, leveling the set and forcing a decider. It looked like the kind of moment that ends win streaks, but Eala did not fold. She fought through the discomfort, raced out to an early lead in the deciding set, and closed out the match to book her place in the round of 16, extending that winning streak to 7 straight. What happened after the match mattered just as much as what happened during it. There was real concern that the injury could force Eala out of the tournament altogether, and plenty of fans braced for an announcement of a withdrawal. Eala addressed none of that panic herself. She showed no outward concern about the injury and confirmed afterward that she is working closely with her physio and the tournament medical staff to have everything sorted before she takes the court again. No drama, no hesitation, just business as usual. And that composure is exactly what has thrown a wrench into Bencic's plans. Bencic had reason to believe she was cruising toward the quarterfinals with a favorable draw opening up in front of her. Instead, she now has to prepare for a fully fit, fully confident Eala, who is playing some of the best tennis of her career. Bencic's anxiety here is not only about facing a healthy opponent, it goes deeper than that. She knows exactly how mentally tough Eala has proven to be, and she knows her usual game plan of getting inside an opponent's head might not work this time. Bencic has built a reputation on tour for her strong on-court demeanor, using pressure tactics and gamesmanship to unsettle opponents rather than relying purely on shots. That approach was on full display during her match against Coco Gauff at the China Open, where Bencic grew frustrated with noise coming from Gauff's player box during her service games. She snapped at the umpire and directly at Gauff's team, accusing them of playing mind games and telling them she was too old for that kind of behavior. It was a tense, heated moment that shifted the entire mood of the match. But here is the part that matters for Bencic heading into this Eala clash. The tactic did not work. Gauff used that exact moment of friction to settle herself, broke back, and went on to win the match in 3 sets. Bencic's attempt to rattle her opponent backfired completely. That history should worry Bencic more than it comforts her. If a proven veteran move like that failed against Gauff, there is little reason to believe it will land any better against Eala, a player who has already faced this exact kind of gamesmanship and come through it. Back at the Miami Open, Eala ran into Laura Siegemund, a player with a well-known reputation on tour for slowing matches down and disrupting an opponent's rhythm between points, the same habit that once frustrated Gauff during the US Open. Midway through the second set, Eala mistimed a ball toss on her serve, and Siegemund broke off to raise a complaint with the chair umpire. Eala did not let it rattle her. She walked straight to the umpire herself and made her own case, pointing out that Sigmund had gone over the shot clock repeatedly throughout the match. The exchange was tense, but Eala did not lose her footing over it. She composed herself, broke Sigmund's serve again, and closed out the match in 3 sets after more than 3 hours on court. If a deliberate attempt to slow her down and get inside her head did not throw Eala off that day, there is little reason to expect Bencic's brand of pressure will land any differently in this round of 16 clash.
Man, it was just a marathon match. And of course, Sigmund was playing those tactical games. You know, she was time wasting a little bit. She was, getting a little bit agitated, getting the umpire involved. She does all those things. And Eala, mentally strong throughout, just kept her cool.
Before we get further into what this matchup could look like, let us know in the comments who you think handles the pressure better here. Do you see Bencic finding a way to unsettle Eala the way she has tried against other rivals? Or do you think Eala's calm demeanor carries her through untouched? Drop your prediction below and tell us what the scoreline looks like when these two finally step on court. If you are new here, this channel covers every twist in Eala's rise on the WTA Tour, from her biggest wins to the moments that test her the most. So make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you do not miss how this one plays out. Every angle of this matchup points to a mental battle as much as a tennis one. Bencic was expecting a smoother road, one where an injury to her opponent tilted things in her favor before the match even began. That plan has completely fallen apart. She now walks into this round of 16 clash knowing she is facing a version of Eala that has already proven she does not break under physical pain, does not break under a hostile scoreboard, and has shown zero signs of buckling under pressure all season. Bencic's own tools, the needling, the appeals to the umpire, the attempts to shift focus away from tennis and onto emotion, have already been tested this year and came up short against one of the tour's steadiest competitors. There is little reason to think Eala will react any differently. For Bencic, the road to the quarterfinals just got dramatically harder, and the timing could not be worse. She fought through her own grueling 3-set battle against Taylor Townsend, a match that stretched well past 3 hours just to reach this stage, and she was hoping that toll would be offset by an opponent who was not at her best. Instead, she gets a surging one. Eala arrives with the form, the streak, and the composure that has carried her through every test this season, and Bencic knows it. It also does not help Bencic that this will be the first ever meeting between the two players. There is no history here, no past scoreline to lean on for comfort, no pattern of previous matchups that tells her exactly how to approach the Filipinas game. Bencic is walking in blind against a player who has spent the last several months dismantling far more experienced names, and that uncertainty only adds to the weight of the moment. The physical scare against McNally will likely be the headline talking point heading into this clash, but it may end up being a footnote by the time the match actually starts. Eala has already shown this season that she treats these moments as speed bumps rather than roadblocks, and there is no indication that a wrapped foot and a couple of days of physio treatment will be any different. The nightmare scenario has already begun for Bencic before a single ball is struck. All that is left now is to see whether she can find an answer on court, because everything off the court already seems to be working against her.